This conference will now be recorded.
So we are also clearly, while posting those flyers, I'm clearly mentioning like which topic is going to be discussed on the weekend, so that if you already know some concept, might be you can just brush it up, or if you don't know, you can choose to attend that also. But from now onwards, what are the sessions we do are very useful to you, because this week I am going to talk rigorously on loops, and not just loops, that logic building. So that is a gap which I see in the industry. People has gap with logic. Whenever they come to the logic, their hands and legs, everything will shiver, total bodily shiver. That if you know how to build it in a right and right way, I'm sure that you don't find it difficult. Okay, but anyhow, let me get into the discussion. Some of the friends asked me to use this what we call Edit Plus. I downloaded. I'm not sure if it is supporting properly, but still, to make sure that you are happy, I'm going to use Edit Plus. Okay. And now this is about your Python. This thing. Today we are going to. I told you we are going to solve at least 50 problems. Okay. So we'll take that 50 problems. Let us solve that 50 first. So today and tomorrow we are going to continuously work on these 50 problems. It starts with basic level, medium level, and little hard level also. All the three levels will be covered. Okay, and I will be also helping you besides that. Okay, clear, right? So now, so what is the point here? This all you know anyhow. I don't need to talk about these things. Now, I initially I didn't introduce the philosophy. Yesterday, while going through the Wikipedia for Python, I just collected it. What is that? Can you switch on? 1 minute, guys. Yeah. Okay, guys. Let's continue. So here, so today's topic is this. What is our topic? It is going to be loops and strings. Let's start here. What is a loop actually? Why do we need a loop? Any idea? Exactly. Loop performs a repetitive task. What loop does? It performs a repetitive task. Means iterate something again and again until a condition is false. Okay, it performs a repetitive task, no doubt about that. When until a condition is what? Condition is false. Okay. And one more thing is, in Python, you don't have many loops like in C, C++, Java, or C Sharp. You just have only two loops. The very basic loop is while loop, and for loop is something a special loop, not like normal for in C or C++. In C, C++, for is something, it's not regular loop, but this is not regular. It is a special loop which is applicable only on collections. Do you understand that? We'll talk on that. I'll give very clear, examples on that. So we have this two. Now I'm going to start with while. Are you good with this? But remember what this loop is. It performs repetitive task until condition is false. Anyhow, we see that with the example so that we get a better idea if you are a very beginner to the loop. But most of you should have some idea. But if you don't have idea, it's fine. So next one after this is, shall we switch to for loop? No, sorry, while, not for. Okay, 1 minute. Guys, 1 minute. 1 minute. I am continuing. Earlier last week it was working, but I don't know the reasons. Okay. That's fine. Okay, guys. Sorry for the waiting. Now, when you talk about while, this is visible, right? While is the very basic loop in Python, and usually any loop, as discussed, performs repetitive task. Okay. So let's talk about this now. So the syntax of while look like this. Yes, please. While, and here you have to use condition, and then under that you have to put statements, and you have a block of statements here. Whatever you want to execute, if condition is true, you put that under while. Don't forget this incrementation or decrementation, because loop is step statement. Without step statement, step statements in sense it is an incrementation or decrementation. That's what this is. Anyhow, we'll talk about it clearly. So this is syntax. Syntax, anyhow, when you try an example or some problem for a couple of times, you remember it. That's not a problem. Syntax is very That is not an issue at all. You can easily memorize that. But how it works, that you have to understand. And also other thing is the approach of problem solving. That is one more thing that we are going to do today. Okay. Next one. Loop basics. So what we are going to talk in loop basics here. Any loop, I am not talking about Python, anywhere, any language, any loop should have these three basics. It must have these three. It should have initialization, it should have condition, incrementation or decrementation. It should have all these three. Why do we need initialization? Because where your loop should start, at what value. Because loop means it will iterate. Are you following this or not? Condition, how many times your loop should iterate, that is specified with condition. Incrementation, decrementation, every time loop iterates you should increment or decrement, otherwise your loop never stop. So these are the very loop basics. So this is very basic kind of session only, still we didn't move to advanced level of coding. Okay, I hope you are clear with this three basics now. See, if you understand fundamentals, you can write code easily without any difficulty. It's very easy. Okay. Now let's apply these three fundamentals in your code. And based on this, today we are going to solve at least 20-25 problems. And most of these problems, these are like hot cake for these freshers. Whenever you go attend any interview, fresh interview, this campus interviews, all this, people at least ask one or two problems from these examples. Okay, so anyhow, let's move to the next topic. I'm sure you are good with this, right? The very first program, this is like hello world kind of thing for programs, loops. Whenever we start learning any language, people teach you hello world first. Initially that is a big program, later on that becomes very small and ignored program actually. Now this is the very basic program, printing 1 to 10. How you are going to do this? The whole mechanism of looping is there in this very beginning program. I'm asking you to print 1 to 10. If it is printing 1 to 10, first you have to start with the 1 and you have to end with the 10, and loop should iterate for 10 times. Every time loop iterates, you should increment by 1 time. So these are the common things. For this, you don't need to have programming knowledge. Common sense is required. What is required? Common sense. Do you understand? Yes. So that is the point here. So now after this, if you see, we are just printing 1 to 10. I think open your laptops. I told you, you need to bring laptops to the session. So open your laptops. I'm talking about offline students. Okay, online without laptop or desktop, you can't join this session. I know. Not talk about. I'm not saying about online students. Okay. Open your laptop. Start solving this 1 to 10. First, you try to solve it. Those who don't have laptops, open your notebook. Start solving, writing problem in your notes. Those who don't have patience to write, you better see your friends, watch your friends. Okay. Is it solved? Did you solve the problem 1 to 10? This is very basic and fundamental for loops. Now I am opening my, we can solve it in two ways. One is in interactive mode. I don't recommend interactive mode from now on, not necessary. Of course, you can test in interactive mode, not a big issue. Second one is use idle batch program, batch mode. Open your idle. I told you we'll also we have some PyCharm or Anaconda. In that Anaconda again we can use Spider or JPython. There are so many frameworks inside Anaconda again. Okay, which helps you also to work with your data science applications. But now I'm using idle. Use idle. Open idle, all of you. So what I suggest is keep doing. Don't listen. Implement. Don't watch. Right. Okay. So new file. Now first thing is loop should have dynamically. Some of you might be from non-programming background. I don't mind explaining to lead consultants in our team. My lead always explains clearly when we ask something, even if it is a dot or comma. Similarly, I will hesitate. Also, so start. What you should take I, you can take any name of your choice. So I initialized to 1, then my condition while what is that, I less than or equal to 10 colon. I told you in the last session, follow indentation. When you write a block of code, you have to apply indentation. Under while you have to keep this statements with some space. That is called block in Python. What do you call it as? In other languages, you have opening bracer, closing bracer. But in Python, we don't have this opening and closing bracers. Then how can I say that this is a block and these statements are under while? That is where indentation is going to help us. So I put a condition. Now you have to print your values, print of I. Okay. So, and then what you have to do? You have to increment the loop. This is, you have first here initialization. Maybe you can make it more, you can describe the code in the program itself, like using a comment initialization. That is actually a Python comment. Or otherwise you can also use triple quote. I told you while discussing strings. A triple quote can be used for declaring multi-line string or a comment in Python. And if you want, you can use that also. Okay. And here you are writing condition, second point. This is where you have a condition. Third one, of course, you printed whatever you want. At the end, what you have to do? You should use this step statement, incrementation or decrementation, which is I equal to I plus 1. Or you can also use shorthand statement, assignment, I plus equal to 1. I taught you in the last weekend. Somebody asked me some questions on that. So you can also use that. Okay? Are you fine, guys? This is the very basic program. So let us understand the execution flow here. So this is I1. I'll do one thing. First, I will run it and come to the analysis once. Okay, I'll just explain the execution flow once. But if you already know, it's fine, well and good. If not, this helps you to understand better. So this is while 1.py. Save it. Go to the run, or you can press F5 directly from your machine. can use shortcut key and say run module, and you have 1 to 10 here. Do you understand this? Am I printing 1 to 10? Yes. Now, after this, what you have to do? Come back. Let's analyze this. How this loop works. Any loop starts with initialization here, 1, set to 1. But initialization happens for one time. Okay. And a variable is created like this. Usually, right now, I'm using Paint for you. You have only one variable throughout the program. That is your variable. What is that? I. Okay. And initially, you have set it to what? 1. Fine. Now, after that, what happens? You come to the condition part. Where do you come? You come to condition. It will check condition. 1 less than or equal to 10. True or false? That's what the condition is. What is our condition? It is 1 less than or equal to 10. I less than or equal to 10. But in place of y, I, what is substituted? 1 gets substituted. With all your experience from school days and all this some years of education, you know, 1 less than or equal to 10, true or false? True or false, guys? True. It is less than or equal. Any one can be true. Then what happens? Control will enter into the block now. Suppose if I assume that I am checking a condition, control enters the block. I am coming here inside the block. Suppose if you put their condition, so I'll just show you here. Now this is true. If it is true, now you come to this statement. Print I. What is I? 1. 1 gets printed. Then after that, what happens? What you are saying? I plus plus means you are incrementing. I plus plus is not there in Python. I'm just only saying for pick this thing. Now you are saying I equal to I plus 1. Don't apply I plus plus and minus minus in Python because they are not there in Python. If you are a traditional C programmer and if you are expecting plus plus and you don't have that here. So it increments, of course. If it increments, what happens? I becomes how much? 1 is added to I. Again, it is stored into the same variable if you observe carefully. I am not storing in another variable. Right? Then the value of I increments. Earlier I is how much here? 1. Now I becomes how much? After that again it will go to condition. In place of 1, 2 gets substituted. 2, you will get 2 here. 2 less than or equal to 10. True or false? True. Again it will go to your while. Inside that statements are executed. And again I is incremented. Now this time I becomes how much, gentlemen? Earlier it becomes 2 and after 2 it becomes how much? 3. Again go to the condition. This time 2 becomes how much? 3. 3 less than or equal to 10. True or false? True or false, sir? I'm asking, am I down? I'm not belittling you people, right? No, okay. Because these were all very simple questions, right? Is it true or false? Then again, will you get into the loop or not? That print gets printed. Again, I increment. This story continues till I becomes how much? After 10, I becomes how much? 11. Last, I have moved. I have done a fast forward. Okay, this thing. Because otherwise you might get bored a bit. So 11 less than or equal to 10. Is your condition true? Both are false. It's not less than, it's not a 11 less than or equal to 10. Both are false. Then your execution of loop is what, gentlemen? Skip it. Suppose loop control might go to that statements, but for now in my program I don't have any other statements. Do you have anything else here? Nothing is there. So your program is terminated then and there itself. This is a very basic program. I spend a bit of time here because from next program onwards you are going to write so many programs. From now onwards, it's your turn. My turn is over. Are you ready for next program? The first program is printing 1 to 10. The second program. Okay, these are all list of programs for you for today. Let's enjoy. Print program to print 10 to 1. Please solve it and execute it. What I suggest is make sure you bring your laptops if you are coming for sessions. Program to print 10 to 1. In between, I will change a few things. You can also take those programs. So we are going to solve many programs here. Keep doing one by one. Program to print 10 to 1. This is a very simple program. Dear friends, do you have any network disturbance from my side? Am I clear to all of you?
Actually, network is sometimes disconnected. Voice is not
Yeah,
clear
that's.
properly.
Is it for me or for you? Because here
From your side,
from my side.
yeah. Sometimes only voice is coming.
Okay.
Yeah, your voice is breaking, Manohar.
Okay. So you see some network issue here, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
I'll
think
do
so.
one thing. I will reconnect one more time. Okay. You please be stay on online. Okay.
Sure,
Right.
sure.
Are you facing the same problem or is it fine now?
Project is fine, but maybe
Okay. Then
we have to look on
let's
them.
continue. Yeah. If you face
Yeah, you
the
can
issue
continue.
again, just remind me. I'll restart once. Thank you. Did you finish this? 10 to 1. It's a small program. We don't need to take much time here. So we have to change the initialization, right? 10 to 1 means it should start with the condition is print I. Then what should I do here? Should I increment or decrement? I should say I equal to I minus 1. Okay. Just run it. Save it. Run. You got 10 to 1. Okay. That's it. Suppose if I want the output in the same line, what do? You should say comma. Then what you can do? You can apply something like a slash t. Then do you have idea about slash n and slash t? One. Here I think instead of slash t you can put a space. Let me just run it. Separator equal to we rarely use all this, got it right? So you use this flag, a special flag here, and because this has so many keywords inside print here, if you see, if you look at this syntax, can you see here, no, value, comma, you can use your other variables also. If you want, you can add multiple variables, comma, value 1, value 2, value 3, like that. You can print multiple variables. You can use separator for space, and end is very important here. Now if you see, as I used end, it is ending with the space, means it's not using new line. By default, print uses new line. In Python, print uses what? Because I didn't do any slash n, still I am getting output line by line, isn't it? Means internally print uses what? The end is new line by default. Can you see here, even it's showing that. What is end here? New line. I don't want new line. I don't want it in line by line. I want it in the same line. Then what can I do? Just modify end here. What do you do right here? You just take I here, then comma, you use end here, and these are all very small things, guys. So like this, and just run this now. Now this time I got a better space, because that space I have added one more extra character there. Another space is added. This time I have two spaces inside this. Three spaces, some more space come. Or otherwise you can directly put what? The better is a slash t. Somewhere you have learnt it in school days. Slash t gives you a tab space. Slash and slash t both are the most used what is that? Escape sequences. Okay, so you can use any, and make sure if you want to format data, usually we use escape sequences. The most used escape sequences are slash n and slash t. Now how to use that in your prints? Like this, you have to use end and specify it. You get the point? Because we are going to work on nested loops, and we need to get some triangles, some rectangles, some pyramids. If you want to print all that with only while, then you need to have some understanding on this part also, right? I think you are fine, right? All of you seems little dull because of Saturday morning, or what? All of you had breakfast? Very famous, popular question from every faculty. Okay. We will ask this question. So now we have. Are you clear, right? Shall I switch to next program? See, I should see that fire in your eyes here. I am seeing I am little dullness, drowsiness. I don't want that. What I need is see. You should. Otherwise, I will show you my favorite heroes movie. Okay. I don't name anybody, but I will show one favorite hero movie. Then automatically you start doing program. Okay, come on, guys. It's very early morning, very fresh time. Come on, next program. Write a program printing even numbers from 1 to 10 without using if. So far we are using loop. Now we are doing programs. Soon we are going to use if within while. While within if also. You can do combinations. Right now, print your numbers without if. Many of you can do this. It's very simple. Right now, if you know how to, if you understood how to write 1 to 10, then you can do this. Sir, I want you to think, sir. Don't blindly do it. Think. Utilize this session.
language we have a braces now.
Hmm.
For while inside and outside we write different statements.
Hmm.
Then how we write that?
Blocks. I told you, right? Block. Indentation. Here you have indentation here. That's all. That is a block here. You missed last week's session?
But we need to recall.
Okay, that's fine. Guys, did you finish it? Printing events from 1 to without if. Same program, you have to modify a bit, that's all. I assume you have finished it because that is a small program. Shall I show you? So here you can use same program. 10 to 1 is also fine. To print even numbers, if you start from 10 to 1 or 1 to 10, that is not a big problem for us. If it is 10 to 1, decrementation. If it is 1 to 10, incrementation. And also there will be a small change in the condition. Don't forget that. First thing, when you don't use if, for just using a simple loop to just print events, this is only just a small use case, that's all. Always initialization should be even. What is that? It should be even. You want even numbers. And then condition you can put I greater than or equal to 1, no issues, or you can put up to 0, not a problem. If you are very concerned, put 0. Then after that, you should not say I minus 1, but you should say you have learned it in school days, right? 10 minus 2, how much? 8. 8 minus 2? 6 minus 2? So what is the common sense here? Just deduct what? 2 from your even number. Loop it until condition is false. You get all even numbers. Did I put any filter here? But this is only just actually a very basic one. But whenever you go for doing this kind of problems, condition check is a good thing. Adding a condition check is all recommended. Putting a filter in code is recommended. Filter in sense if is always a filter. Are you following or not? So go to run and then say run module. Click on OK. You get 10.8.6.4.2.0. Is this what we need? I'll do one thing. You understood this problem, right? Shall I repeat it? Do you want me to repeat this very tough program? No. Okay, fine. Okay, next problem. You print all odd numbers from 1 to 10. 10 to 1 or 1 to 10 is not a big deal. If you understand the first two programs, printing 1 to 10 and 10 to 1. Okay, sir. We are going to work on problems. We are going to solve. This is not like we are not just only talk about theory. We focus on implementation. So what is our next problem? Printing odd numbers from 1 to 10 without if statement. Same style with a small change. Just once change into the code gives you what? Odd numbers. Who are you going to answer this for me?
Initialization.
What should I change here? Let's talk for some time. What should I change in the code? Online people, please do type in the chat box. A small change. Can I continue with the same code, right? Do you have any these problems like usually we have this you watch time, all this, right? The stars, everything, no, right? You don't have any such thing. So what is the point here? You just change it to 9 or 11. You start with the odd number. 9 minus 2, how much, sir? Again, I have asked tough question. Huh? I know. I think I am not trying to. It is that downsize you, but 9 minus 2, 7 only, right? 7 minus 2, early morning. Okay, for you. Okay, you got odd numbers. Next word, sir. Are you ready for same even and odd programs, but with a different style? If you really focus here, all this we are doing from very scratch. If you observe carefully and work, give your 100%. Trust me, you see a lot of difference in the approach you write your code. At least in next 2 weeks. After next 2 weeks, you got the point, right? But if you are just pampering the same old lazy person in your another person is there, right? That guy always tell, okay, yaar, why do you take too much risks? I will explain. Just listen. Don't pamper that guy. Okay, try, take it. So next one after this, ready? Same problem, printing even numbers. What should we do? Printing even numbers, but this time you have to apply a condition check. What check? You should put if inside while. What is that you have to do? You should put if. Don't increment by 2. I don't want you to increment by 2. Iterate it 1 to 10. But while iterating, every time you have to see whether that I is even or not. The last week we have tried how to check whether number is even or not. Yes or no? Now that if you put in while and every time loop iterates, see that I is divisible by 2 or not. And if it is divisible by 2, what is it? It's a even. Print it. Otherwise skip it, because if will automatically skip that. Will you try that now? I almost explained logic. You have to convert it to your code, that's all. Keep solving, guys. Even the folks who are attending online, please solve, guys. Keep working with your problems. Open your command prompt or open your I hope all of you had installed Python. I think I have changed the network connection. This time, I hope it will be better, folks. So even numbers from, did you try that, guys? Very important code for us. So these are all very basic things, useful. You want some time, or shall I show you the solution? Shall I explain the solution? All of you have finished working on that? Anybody still has any doubt on that part first? Okay, the program is like this. I want you to print even numbers 1 to 10 with a filter in the loop. When I say filter, it's nothing but a if. Even while also has a filter condition. Filter in sense condition. We can check condition with decision making or loops. Usually loop condition is for iterating purpose. How many times your loop should iterate, that is specified with loop. But any other condition checks other than that, you have to do with if inside this looping. Got this point? So what you do is open your prompt. So now you can happily iterate from 1 to 10 or 10 to 1, anything is fine. Okay, then you print it. If you want, you can print in the same line or line by line. Nothing is not difficult here. So this is 1 to 10. Agree? Now what I just need only even numbers. I told you to add a condition filter in your loop. How do we do that? We have to put if inside while. Then already we have idea about if from last session or not. At least we have solved some 10 to 15 problems on only if. 15 to 20 otherwise. If, how do you know how to check whether number is even or not? Take that I, divide that with 2, and check whether it is equal to 0 and put colon. If you observe carefully, this if is inside this while. So I have an indentation for if now. And this print has to be under if. Where this print has to be? If it has to be under if, what should I do? I should not put on the same indentation. I should push inside to if. If you push that print inside if, means it is part of if, not directly part of while. It is this print is part of if, guys. But this incrementation, I see many students, they keep this inside if. Don't put incrementation inside if, guys. Don't put inside. It has to be part of while, because incrementation is required for while, not for if. Do you understand the point? So you have to take care of these things in the beginning. If you are very new to the Python, these are little bit confusing for developers initially. So solving 3 to 4 programs, then nothing. It's very difficult. It's very simple. So I put this inside if, because this print is part of which one? This if. Are you following? So now what happens every time, I is 1 less than or equal to 10 true, it comes inside, it checks whether I is even or not. 1 divisible by 2 equal to 0, true or false? True or false? False, right? Because if you divide 1 by 2, is your remainder 0? Remainder is 1. Then it is false, then this print is not executed. Then it goes to the incrementation, loop gets incremented. I becomes 2, 2 less than 10 is true. It comes again, 2 divisible by 2 is 0. 0 equal to 0 is true. Then print gets printed. How much you get here? 2. This if is true, it returns true only when that I is even. So when I run this code, what happens? I get all even numbers from 1 to 10. Suppose I want to give 1 to n. What I want to give? 1 to n. N you have to input. Always it starts with 1. And n means suppose 10, 20, 30, 40. That I want to input from keyboard. Dynamic input. Are you following? Then how do you do that? In the last session we had a discussion. What do you use for that? But input always returns, by default it returns string. What should we do? Can I compare string? No, I have to convert that string to int. You know how to apply conversion function? Now you can try that example also. Let's add one more problem. Understood? What is that problem? Write a program to print even numbers from 1 to n by reading n from keyboard. For that we should use input function. Taught in the last session. I have uploaded all the sessions to our YouTube channel. If you have doubts, you can go and check there. Okay, so that's what. Now you try this problem. Now I'll give 2 minutes time for all of you. If you want break in the middle, we'll plan for a break for 10 minutes today. You want a break for tea or coffee? Online people, if they go for break, that break will continue forever. I know that. Try this now. What is the problem? I will update in our list of this thing. Program to print even numbers from, or even or odd, anything is fine. From 1 to n. Printing even from 1 to n. From what you have to do? Input n from where? Input n from keyboard. Try it, sir. You have to try. Take 2 minutes, 3 minutes. If you have doubts, meanwhile, you can ask me so that I can. If you are missing any sessions, these sessions are there in my channel. My channel name is this. Learn Well, LERNWELL space tech. I have uploaded, we have done 3 weekends, 2 weekends I hope. Okay, all the sessions were recorded and loaded. All 3 sessions were there. First session we didn't do much. That I have given a backup for first session in the second day, so that if you go through the starting itself, everything is there. You didn't miss anything there. Okay. Got it right? Yes, please.
Can you open that previous program?
This one you were asking. Shall I?
So what happens if we increment that after just below to that point?
Yes, exactly. You mean just below? Nothing happens. See,
Same, right?
this indentation. You can see this, right? When you have this if, this I, this incrementation, all are part of while. They are in which scope? These are in while scope. Which scope? While scope. Now what do you do? He's asking me a question. What if I put this control X? If I put on top of if, nothing happens. Loop works fine, but what is that is you are incrementing already by 1. You are not starting doing it by 2, sorry, by 1. Initially starts with 1. We check 1 is divisible by 2 or not, but this time it will start from 2. Means one more extra incrementation happens in the beginning itself. Got it right? There will be a small difference in the output, that's all. You got it right? Nothing more than that. You can keep it here also. Usually we do incrementation at the end, but if you are very clear with what you are doing, you can put it at the beginning or in the middle, wherever you want, you can keep it.
Can you place at the starting of that line?
Which one?
I equal to I plus 1 at the starting.
Here you are saying, or on top of while?
Just below the double.
just below the
Double.
here.
Can we start there?
You cannot start there.
Okay.
You miss that session. If you put here, it is not part of while. While and this incrementation has same indentation or not. Then this I called I plus 1 is not part of while. It is not inside while. It's not part of while block.
The indentation should be some space with.
Yes, when you want to put something inside a loop or this if some condition check or something, it has to be inside that condition, that construct.
It should have some space.
That is called indentation. Whatever you put space, you have to do. That's what we had discussed in the last session. When in Python you don't have braces sets, opening and closing. When you don't have braces set, how do you create a block then? So block is created with the indentation. Got it right? That tells you the block. All of you are good now?
Those are the scope terminators, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. This indentation talks about the scope. Got it right? I think those who attended, you are good, right? If someone is new anyhow, it's a very simple thing. Okay. What is the program I had asked you to input a value from where? To input value from where? So take n equal to input of what is that? Enter n. I told you this is indication. This is not input. But this reads this input in 3.x reads everything as a string. I told you this in the last session. You input anything from keyboard, it will take it, but it is treated as a string. But in looping, the condition check I should be what? Compared with an integer. So what should I do then? Should I go for a conversion or not? How do I do conversion? I can do it in two ways. Step 1 you input, step 2 you convert. 2 steps I can do. Yes or no? That is easy way to understand in the beginning stage. And I can say n equal to int of what? But one thing, you should be very clear. Whenever you try to convert something to integer, the string has to be a numeric string. What string is that, gentlemen? It should be a numeric string. But if you give any character string, first thing it is illegal. Second thing, you will get error, value error. Okay. So make sure this n is always a numeric string. I'll show you what is that numeric string. Now here I can just say I less than or equal to n instead of 10. Okay. I'm comparing I with n now. That n can be 10, 20, 30. It's fine. This time what's going to happen? I can print even numbers from 1 to n. N can be 10, n can be 20, n can be 30, n can be 100, n can be anything. That's our choice. Save your program. Do you understand this? This is how we input value from keyboard in Python. But everything it is taken as a string if it is 3.x. Okay. If it is 2.x, your value is taken as it is. If you are using 2.x, it's fine. You don't need to do this conversion, not necessary in 2.x, Python 2x. If you are using input function. Got the point right? Guys, are you following or not? Right. So now run this program. It's asking me to enter n, give 20. I got even numbers up to 20, right? This is a small automation. People ask me, sir, automation means what? Automation is nothing. What you do with lots of lines of code or what you do manually, you make it into a program format, utility format, so that you don't need to spend much time on that. Got the point, right? Still, I think we are going to work on more real use cases also coming forward. But if you should implement that, before that, you should be clear at this level. If you have confusion at this level, going to that level is difficult again. Got it right? So that's it. Ready for next program? Yes or no? Next one. 1 to n comma input n from q. This is done. Will you try odd also? No. Another program just for practice. Same program. Don't copy and paste it, guys. Don't follow the same kind of. Understand and implement. What you have to do? You understand what you are doing in the code and apply that again. If you blindly see the top one and do the bottom one again, no use. We do that in homework in school days. Copy from other and submit. But we never know what we have written. Our record works in colleges, semesters. Blindly copy from one guy who wrote all that. But we never know what we have done. Try next problem. You can slowly do it. You don't have any pressure on you. Nobody is coming after you. No deadline. Printing odd numbers from 1 to 10 with a condition check. Try solve this, guys. Okay, shall I just do this program? It's very simple. Small changes to this code gives you odd numbers from 1 to n. What is that small change?
Not equal.
You can do it in two ways. Not equal to 0, traditional way. Or equal to 1, that is also traditional approach. Two approaches. If you divide by 2, and if remainder is 1, then obviously number is even. Sorry, odd. Thank you. Obviously number is odd. Do you have any doubt on that? You can check it with a small division. Put a division and test it. So what should I do now? Should I use 1 or should I say not equal to 0? Anything is your choice. Whatever you are comfortable, you have two ways. Okay. Now just run this. It will ask you to input n. Give whatever you want. I'm just giving you 10. I get odd numbers from 1 to 10. I'm also getting 11. Huh? You know why we get 11? Maybe you get a suddenly, some of you might feel a doubt. Huh? Because I is here. So if you put I at the bottom, you might get up to 9. So the small changes, you should be able to analyze. Okay, I put this there, I got this. I put this here, I got this. Understanding and analyzing this at the beginning level is very important. Understood? Are you good, guys? Next one. Are you ready for next program? We are just moving to the little bit not complicated. These are not at all complicated. But for many people, trust me, for many people, these are a little difficult. Understood? But these are basic programs. Next program or next problem to find sum of numbers from what to what? Sum of numbers from 1 to n or 1 to 10. Now you know how to solve up to n. Sum of first n natural numbers, anything is fine. Can you solve this now? Some instance, suppose 1 to 10 means don't declare 10 variables and don't say a plus b plus c plus d plus e plus f plus g. Don't do that. If it is 10, you can do. If it is 100, will you keep doing that? If it is 1000, will you keep doing that? You cannot do it, right? You have to find some solution for that. Optimal solution. What is that? Looping and adding. How do you do it? You try it yourself. Then I will explain it in a way, the most easiest way, how your mind thinks. You have a solution with your mind, but only thing is you have to transform it to the code. Got it right? From here, start doing it. Sum of numbers from 1 to 10. See, learning programs needs a bit of patience, not intelligence. If you have intelligence, it's good, sir. Is it done, guys? For some of you, this is a beginning program. I'll explain clearly now. So based on this sum program, there are so many other logics that are going to come for us. If you understand this clearly, this is actually very core logic. Based on this core logic, many other logics were built. Understood? Logic building also has a process. Okay, let me explain this first now. Let me explain it clearly. Later on, you can work on other examples which has a relation to this logic. Okay, similar logics, what we call. So first thing, I am just using I have Notepad++. I will use that. Somebody suggested me Edit Plus. Let me try this. Okay, are you good now? What is our program? Where can I increase font for this Edit Plus? Any idea? Yes.
Format. Edit.
Hmm?
Format. Format.
It's okay, fine, not an issue. Control++ works, sir. Okay, fine, it's visible, right? Or otherwise we can use Notepad itself, not an issue. Let me take a Notepad. Here we have font directly. I'm increasing the font. Now, sum of numbers from what?
1 to 10.
Okay. Let us first not go to the code. Let's not talk about code first. When I say 1 to 10, what you do is all of you can answer this question, right? Do the sum of all 10 numbers and tell me the answer without using any program.
55.
right?
N into n plus 1 by 2
Yeah, that's true.
formula.
Okay, it's 55. Now, what we do is you are able to answer 55, right? How are you able to calculate that? In mind first, no, you don't calculate all numbers at a time, right or not? When you say 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus, you go by number, right? How do you do that addition in your mind? Let's understand that approach. How your mind thinks. The same thing you write in code. Initially, is there anything in your mind? 0. It starts with 0, right? You add 1 to that 0. Assume that there is nothing in mind. 0 is there. Add 1 to 0. How much? Sir, this is your I. I starts like this one. And this is your mind. Okay, because this is the logic which I am explaining is how the logic behaves. Initially, your mind has how much, sir? Mind, or you can say sum also 0. And you add that 1 to 0. How much you get, sir? 1, right? 0 plus 1, how much? Then after that, where did you put that 1? Did you put again in the mind or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
So, here it's very simple, sir. Again, it's there in the mind. Can you please mute, my dear friend? So now what do you do again? Again, you have 2 here. Now what should I do? I is 2. Should I add this? Again, I should take 1. Add 1 to how much? 1 plus 2. Yes or no? Means actually 1 is there in the mind now. Yes or no? 1 plus 2 how much? 3. Where do you put it again? Again in the mind or not? Think about it. Now this is 3. What is there in your mind now? Mind also has 3. 3 plus 3 how much, sir? Where did you put it again? 3 plus 3 how much? 6. Did you put in the mind or not? Again, I is 4. Inside your mind how much is there? You add that 6 to 4 or not? How much you got? You tell me the logic. Please mute your machine. Please, friends. You tell me how much you got here.
10.
So here, guys, what is your logic here? What you are doing? Every time you are taking a value from mine and adding it to some other number, I, some value from I. Again, you are placing in the mind, right? So what is the logic you are applying? Mind equal to mind plus I. Yes or no? Are you doing this logic or not? So what is your logic you are doing in mind? You are taking a value, adding it to the mind, and again placing in the mind. The total sum again you are placing in the mind. It is like sum equal to sum plus I. Is that what your brain is doing here, right? Now you have to write that in the program. What you have to do? And how you are going to convert it to program is very simple. Shall I show you now? You just need to iterate loop from 1 to 10. That all of you know that, which I strongly believe that. Can you iterate loop from 1 to 10? Yes. Same program. Remove this if. We don't need any ifs now. Okay. This time I need a sum variable. What variable? Sum. So what you have to do is we have to initialize that sum to 0 before the loop. This is programming, right? Programming, some initialization is required. So we set sum to how much? 0. Now what you are going to do? Logic. What's your logic, gentlemen? Sum equal to sum plus I. And then that's all over. This is our problem. But I am not printing sum inside loop. What I am doing? I am printing sum outside loop. Why if I print inside loop? Do we have any issue? No, we don't have any issue. No error, nothing, guys. You can print it. But you get incremental sum. What sum you get? Last one which you get is your answer. But in between all these phases are there, right? That is not what I am expecting. You got it, right? So if you put inside, because I see in the beginning, these were the common mistakes the beginners will do. They try to print in the loop and come to me and ask me, sir, I am getting output like this. Whenever you want total result, you have to print it outside lab. You can see I'm keeping this print under while, not inside while. Can you see this? Because now this comes to the main scope. Now this is in which scope? Main scope. Even all these statements are in main scope, not part of while. So if you see this, what's happening now? I input n, I iterates from 1 to 10. Every time I iterates, the value of I is added to sum and the total sum is placed into sum again. Now you run this code, enter n. Shall I give 10 first? Because we know first sum of first 10 numbers is 55. So that you get some quick idea. Suppose you want to know phase by phase evolution. I had asked, right, 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3. You have done some calculation in your mind. You want to watch that output. Then put your print inside loop. I'll just show you. You want that incremental sum. What I suggest is you can put a sum inside loop. Now you get that whatever your mind thinks, even you get that phase wise output. I'm giving same 10 this time also. Can you see this? 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21. At last, this 55 is your answer. And the other one is which I put outside. The print which I put outside. If you put inside, nothing happens. No problem. But only thing is, you get incremental output. Usually, we don't need it in this kind of programs. Are you following, guys? Or see, problem solving needs you need to have little patience. If you want to become a programmer, then you have to be patient. If you want to just learn course, it is a different thing. I explain, you do something, and it's over. No use. Got it right? This is core problem, core logic. Are you clear with this core logic? Don't by heart logic. Initially, if you see in the semester exams, most of the BTech students who got 90%, 95% is they will by heart and write programs. They will write all programs in the exam. After 2 weeks or 3 weeks, if you ask them to solve, they can't. Trust me. If you by heart programming, no use at all, sir. It's waste of time. Don't ever do that. Ready for next problem? Ready or not? This is based on this one only. And all the problems which we are going to solve from here will have a connection to this sum. That's why I told you focus. Are you going to do it now? Next problem. Write a problem to find sum of even numbers from 1 to 10 or 1 to n. It's your choice. Now, if after doing that, don't worry about factorial. We'll do it again. Sum of even numbers from 1 to 10. Same logic. Already we know how to print sums. Even numbers. Right now we learned how to find sum. Mix these two logics, make it one logic, and do it now. Sum of even numbers from 1 to 10. Right? Take 2-3 minutes, and folks, you can give me your answers in the chat box. Online friends, please ping your answers in the chat so that I can view. Not n into n plus, we don't need it. What we need is looping, through looping RAM. Please do it through loop. N into n plus 1 by 2 is just a mathematical formula. That is fine. That is actually normal logic. We need to solve it through looping. Okay. Did you finish it? Because it's something connected logic to the sum itself. If you would have understood the last two programs, that is printing events, and then after that finding sum, then you can easily solve this problem. It's up to you. See, if you want to really learn programming, focus and learn. Otherwise, if you want to waste your time, I am not going to say that anything. So I am going to solve it now. So what we are going to do is same problem, small changes. Could you tell me what changes I can do to this code to make it sum of even numbers? Inside this while, put an if statement and indentation. Move this sum statement into the if. Print, you can remove this, not an issue. And this incrementation, should I put in while or in if? Yes, keep it in if only, while only, sorry. What is the condition I have to say? I percentile 2 equal to 0. If it is even, then you do the sum. Earlier we have done sum of all numbers. This time only do the sum of evens. How do you know that? You put a filter. By looking at this filter, you can easily understand that this is doing sum of only even numbers. Where should I print this? Inside while or outside while? In these kind of problems where you need total output, print it outside the loop, not inside the loop. Are you following, guys? See, this these are useful to you. That is important. It's not about me teaching continuously. Whether it is going to be useful to you is important. Okay. Are you starting any new session or what? Okay. So guys, shall I run this code now? Okay. And I just take 10 because for easy understanding. 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10. How much, guys? Are you sure? 30 only. Got it right? You can test with other values. Take some time and you can test with other values. While doing this, if you have really followed the last two programs, then this is nothing. But if you didn't follow any one of those two, or if you have any confusion with those logics, then this is little difficult. But still it's not difficult also. Understood? Next, are you ready for next problem? We have done sum of even numbers. You can also try for sum of odd numbers for practice. But anyhow, a small change to this gives you sum of odd. You don't need to again try that also. Okay. Not equal to 0 gives you what? Odd number, sum of odds. Okay, next move to the switch to the next logic. Are you ready now? Next problem, factorial of a given number. Fact, these are all very basic and fundamental logics. Factorial of a given number. Factorial of a given number. No problem, sir. You take your time, implement it. What I want is, even if you have, not the number of people here, how many of you are really interested to do this coding is important. Got it right? Next, when we work on collections, again we need to do a lot of iterations on collections. Logic comes through collection. And if you are really implementing at this level all these basic programs, then you can play with collections. One of the very core area of Python in real time. Understood, right? Factorial and sum are almost same. If you just think about it, 1 to 10 numbers, I want factorial of 5. Factorial of 5 means what? Same thing only, right? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. It's like otherwise 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 also. Already you know how to add 1 to 10 or 1 to 5. Same thing you do product with some changes. When you are doing sum, the initialization to sum should be 0. Yes or no? Why I put it to 0? We learned it in school days. That is not something, a new thing here. Many people don't recognize that. When you are doing addition, when you initialize something to 0, the output doesn't change, isn't it? 0 plus 1 what? 1. Is there any change to your result? So that's why when it is sum, usually in this kind of logics, we set that resultant variable to 0. If it is product, the tip is this. You should set that adding variable to the 1. It's a common sense we have learned from school days, not now. 5th class, 4th class itself, our maths teachers taught this. Got it right? Shall I show this? We can almost correct this problem, change this problem otherwise. Could you tell me what corrections we should do to this code? If anybody want to answer, guys, you can type in the chat box. Could you tell me what corrections I should do to this code to make it what? Factorial. First thing. So to this sum, add 1. So replace this 0 to 1. And one more correction is required. This is actually for giving what? Sum of even numbers. So remove this if now. We don't need any filter, because this is a straightforward program finding factorial. So you can, might be this sum little seems to be sum. We are not doing sum, but we are doing product here. Variable might look sum. That's not actually recommended. You can change variable name if you think you are getting confused. You can put f factorial or 3 product. Then what is the logic here? Whenever you do product, it is a multiplication, it's not addition. So you should say that f equal to f into I. Same logic, right? We applied for product. We changed the initialization to 1, because if you still keep it 0, 0 into infinity also 0. Our mathematicians have already decided that. Common sense, right? So what you have to do, this is incrementing by 1 and print your sum here. Yes. Correct, Suprat? Pardon? Yes, a small correction again. While printing, print off. Yeah. Are you doing, sir? Save your problem. Run module.
Indentation of I.
Oh, I have an issue here. What is my issue? I equal to 1.
So indentation.
Okay. Is this the error, right? Because I told you in the beginning session last week, all has to be aligned with same indentation inside a block. Got it right? That's all. Thank you. Now let's Run this code. Enter n. So what is this problem? This is for factorial. I want 5 factorial. Anyhow, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2, you can straight away tell this as 120. Got 120 or not? If it is a BTech first year, by looking at this answer, you would have felt very happy, isn't it or not? But now it's not about happiness, it's about making it to the next one. Are you clear now? Next program, try this. Write a program. I'm adding another additional program to find the product of all even numbers from 1 to 10. Product of even numbers from 1 to 10. I'm not asking factorial this time. Product of even. This problem is not there in our list. You try it. Program to find product of even numbers from 1 to 10. Tomorrow we work on for and range for each, that is not regular for, something special for, and also range function. It's also very useful. Okay. Can you try this now? If you would have understood the sequence what we have done, you can just write it like that. You can write with left hand, not even with right hand. That fast you can. I need only product of even numbers. Come on guys, online, you can give me your answer in the chat box. Okay. Finished it, right? Good. All of you. Finished writing? Are you able to write it in your books? At least. And it's difficult to carry your laptop sometimes. Are you good now? Good or bad? Or ugly? Not physically, I'm talking about internally. Shall I show you now? I think you have already done this, I know. Tell me the, let's convert this to this product of even numbers from 1 to 10. Leave it n there. And this also is good. I is set to 1, f is set to 1. What changes I have to do this code now? Tell me. Should I put a filter here or not? When I say check for even, check for odd, whenever this kind of statement comes, means you have to, first thing you have to remember is, yes, I have to apply if here. Got it right? So inside this, you take in if I percentile 2 equal to 0, then do the product of that I. And there is a small correction I have to do here also. This incrementation has to be part of while and outside if somebody is telling. You understand? These are the minor mistakes what I have seen is observed people doing it in the beginning stages. But anyhow, not an issue. So, and let me print, which one should I print, F or I? You can print I and you can print F, you can see, you can analyze the result. Yep.
I means it will print M.
Yes. It will print all the, what is that? Numbers from 1 to the 10. Okay. If you want to see the flow, how the flow is going, you can print and see also. There is nothing wrong. Suppose you want to know each stepwise analysis. Sir, Python itself is used for analysis only, data analysis. Most of us are sitting here either for automation, doing automation, or going for data science, or at least it acts as a foundation for your next frameworks, Django or something else. Anything, first, if you are really good with this core and advanced Python, then you can do all that. So you can print this and you can do analyze also. Analysis. See, suppose if you print I, that curiosity should be there. Understood, right? So, shall I run this code now? What do I get now? I give 10 only. 384. Maybe if you are, if you want to give 20, give 20, 100, give 100. Once you start doing a code for something, it is applicable for n numbers. Okay. Are you good now? So, next one. Are you ready for next program? This goes like that. I told you in the beginning itself. You didn't believe me on day one or in my first weekend session. Second weekend session also you are a little doubtful, but now you should believe me. Your sessions are more of programmatic sessions only. Got it right? So those who can withstand that, they can improve yourself. Next problem. Ready for next problem? Next. Program to find count of even numbers from 1 to 10. You know how to print even numbers, right? Now suppose 1 to 10 I told. Give me the count. How many events are there in first 10 numbers? 5 anybody will sell that. First 20 will tell 10 even numbers, but count and tell me. What I need is count of even numbers. Every logic which I am making to work here will have connection with many logics coming forward. You don't believe it. The first 20 logics, 25 logic you solve in this classroom are going to travel with you throughout your career. Trust me. Not directly, indirectly, if not directly. So you can give me your answers in the chat box, dear online friends. See, every time whenever I ask a problem to solve, you can just finish it and type it in the chat, paste it in the chat box. If you have questions, we will stay back in the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I will answer all of your questions. Those who are online, if you want to ask any questions. Are you seeing connection with all these logics? One logic is interconnected to another logic if you observe carefully. Count and sum has some small changes. You have to observe that and do it. We are also planning to build this problem solving this thing in our website, like hackathon kind of approach. Then those who finished, please paste in the chat box, online folks. Count of even numbers, right? Are you ready now? Shall I give my version of our answer? So what should I correct here again? Count of even numbers means you can continue with this, but this time, yes, this is fine. Do you need
Is
this?
equal to 0.
See, if I want count, I can make this to count itself directly. You can give a meaningful variable names in programming. Understood? And don't set it to 1. Set it to 0. This is not addition or this is not product multiplication. This is finding count. Whenever you do count, always set that variable to 0 because nothing will be there initially. Later on, whenever you do some condition check, you have to increment that count. So I want all even numbers. So if I is divisible by 2, it's an even. Then you should increment count. What is that you should do? How do you increment count? Every time I divides 2 or 2 divides I, count should be incremented by 1. So what is your logic? Count equal to count plus 1. Are you following this? Then what should we do? Which one should I print? I should print count. Shall we? Print count. Shall I execute this program? Run this, run module. Enter n. I'll give 10. In first 10, 5 are even. Because we have equal number of even and odd numbers. Yes sir. Okay. If you start with 0, so are you good now? So this is for finding counter. Ready for next logic? Yes or no? You should be hungry as I told you in the last session. When I say yes, you should say double S. Got it right? Ready for next one? Okay. I think it should be a good joke. All of us should laugh. Jabardast jokes are like this only, right? Are you laughing or not? When that. Okay, fine. Now, are you ready for next one? Program to print factors of a given number. You know factors, right? Learn this in 3rd class. How do you find factors? You have a number 6. That's fine. I don't want logic now. What I want is just how many factors are there for 6? 1 is a factor, 2 is a factor, 3 is a factor, and what about 7, 8, 9? Why? Number which is greater than that number is never a factor. You check factors for factors from 1 to 6. What do? You check for factors from 1 to that number otherwise. Got it right? Suppose if I say 6, from 1 to 6, what do? Your mind, again, you are able to answer means all of us this has this answer. Those who had at least passed this 10th class, they has this understanding, right? So the point is simple. It works like this. I'm just explaining quickly. If you take 6, if not 6, you can take 10 or 12. It's your choice. I'm not just restricting you to 6. You can take whatever you want. Okay. 6 has factors like, when it is 6, from 1, 2, 3, 4, from 1 to 6, that number otherwise, let me just say that clearly. From 1 to that number, if it is 6 up to 6, if it is 10 up to 10, 1 to that number. What do you have to do? We have to check every number divides this 6 or not. If it divides, then it is a factor. If not, it is not a factor. It's a some simple thing, right? So what is that operation you have to apply? Division, no doubt about that. What division you have to do? Percentile or slash? Will you check for remainder or will you check for quotient? Remainder means you have to apply percent. What you have to do? You have to say whether 6 is divisible by 1, whether this is equal to 0. Again by 2, by 3, up to 6 you have to do. And for this, what you have to do here? You have to do the looping. Because we cannot keep checking like this, right? Every time. So what do you have to do? Put all this inside a 6 percentile 2 equal to 0. Then 6 percentile 3 equal to 0. 6 percentile 4 equal to 0. 6 percentile 5 equal to 0. 6 percentile 6 equal to 0. This is what you have to. Suppose if I give 10, then you have to do this for how many times, gentlemen? 10 times, 1 to 10. But you cannot do this manually like this. So you have to convert this to a code form. Already most of you know how to write loop and how to do this condition checks, all that. You try your version, then I will also do my version. Try it once. You need a looping. Looping from what? 1 to? Looping from what? 1 to 10 or 1 to that number? This time don't, because as we have from past half an hour to 1 hour, we are doing 1 to 10, 1 to 10. Don't put 10 up to 10. Because you might forget and put 10. This time it's not up to 10. 1 to that number. If n is something, put up to n. Try it yourself. Take some time and do it. Okay. Let me just solve this. First thing, assume that your number is whatever it is, 6, because 6 is easy to trace it. You can take 5 or 4 also, it's your choice. I have to make some changes to this code. First of all, what I need to print factors, right? So this time I don't need this count, not necessary. Then here I should make a change to this condition. What should be the condition? I should say n percentile I. This time n should be divided by I, not by I should be divided by n. Again, I see this kind of small correction many times for beginners. They do the opposite. Instead of dividing that n by I, they do by I by n. So equal to 0. That's fine, over. Then straight away, if you want factors, if it is divisible by, if I is dividing n, it is a factor. So straight away you print it. Print off what, gentlemen? Then that's all over. You don't need this count. You can remove this. From this logic, we are going to work on something called perfect number. Slowly we will develop this to which one? Perfect number. We'll talk what is that. That's not something too difficult. So go to the run and just say run. Give some 6. Got your factors right. This time you can check for many numbers, not just for 6. Okay, you can check for 10, 20, 100,000, anything of your choice. So what do you do now? Maybe you can try for another number. Suppose I'll give 7. You know 7 has just 2 factors because it's a prime number. 1 and 7. Right? Usually any prime number has just 2 factors. Ready for next program? Continuation only. All are connected logics. If you really understand this, next one you can automatically solve. Anybody has questions on this logic? Any confusion or any problem here with this logic? This session and next session will be more of programming sessions. Every session will be programming only. Then again we will switch to the topic called strings. Then we talk about all the methods of strings and we apply that in some logic building sessions again. Extracting strings and doing string handling, all that stuff. Next one. Program to find count of factors of a given number. Same thing again. What is that? Program to find count of factors. First you do count, then we'll go for another one. Count of factors of a number. I told you when we do the count program, that's even or odd thing. The same logic we are going to work it repeatedly again and again in many programs. You know how to print factors now. Just find the count of factors now. Difficult? So if you finish, please answer in the chat box. Okay. I'm going to solve it. It's a connected logic. We have already done such logic. So what do we do right now? So you have to declare a count variable again. So if you want to count, you don't need to use count itself. Again, don't come to an understanding that count should be always there. It's not like that. You can put C or you can put X. To make it readable, I am giving it as count. You can give any variable of your choice in programming. Okay. Count equal to 0. After that, what do you have to do? Every time this condition is true, means that number is a factor. Yes or no? Every time this condition is true, what is that, folks? A number is a factor. So you should increment count here. Count equal to count plus 1. Yes or no? Rest of the story is same. And then just need to increment I because that's a loop 1. And print count here outside. Print count. Okay. Just run the program. How many factors are there? Suppose if you take 5. How many are there for 5? Get 2. Got it right? Suppose, again I am executing the code. I give some 6. How many are there? 4. That's how you find count of factors. Got it right? Ready for next program? Next one, sum of factors. Now you have done count, right? There is difference here. Don't get confused. Write a program. Program to find sum of factors of a given number. Now do this program. Sum of factors. Okay. Whatever logics you are doing, these are same for Java, C or C++, are almost same. Got it right? And if you are not strong at this level, then even though you complete your course, still you have that always that gap will be there for you. A small change has to be done here. But that small change here, instead of count, I can make it as a, and I can use count also, but I should know what I am doing here. If you observe carefully, if I am getting count, I am incrementing count by 1. Yes or no? If it is sum, I have to add I to the sum. Yes or no? Did we do this kind of program or not? So what you can do is remove this gentleman. Then here, just come here, make a small change. What is that? Sum equal to sum plus. I should not say sum plus 1. Again, it's count only. Giving a variable name as sum doesn't give you sum here. What you have to do? Logic. Logic is very important. How you write your logic is important. Understood, right? If I name myself as Prabhas, I can't become Prabhas, right? Yes or no? So, just what I have to do? Print sum. Just run here, execute it, enter n. So what is this? Sum of factors. I'll give 6 only. Okay, we are almost in front of Okay. We're almost at the doorstep of this perfect number. Which number? Whatever the sequence of logics we have applied will lead to the perfect number. Are you ready for that? We are almost done for perfect with small minor changes. Next program. Write a program. Guys, are you doing or not? Yes. Program to check whether number is perfect or not. What is perfect number? Let us just check 6 for example, because 6 is very easy to understand. You know the factors of 6, right? So far we have worked on 6. You know the factors of 6. Tell me the sum of factors of 6. Sum of factors of 6. Minus that number. Minus that number means what? 6. How much you got? That is perfect. Seriously. Perfect number is nothing but if sum of factors of a number is equal to that number excluding factor of itself. You understand? I'll write here. Perfect number means sum of factors of an. Already you have almost done that logic now. You don't know that you have done it, but you have done now. Sum of factors of a number is equal to the number excluding what? Excluding factor of itself. Now you take an example of 6 now. Huh? No, how you do is your choice. I'm not going to comment on that. You remove equal or you remove put greater than less than or you subtract it is your choice. See sir, one more thing. So this logic almost gives you that perfect number. Whatever you have done, it is a sum of numbers you have done. Minor changes to that gives you number, no doubt about that. That sum you get. But if you get that sum is not enough. You have to do the condition check again. What do you have to do? You have to do a condition. You have to put an if else again. There is an if else check is done. Should be done after this. Got it right? So this gives you sum. You find sum of factors. Okay. After that you have to put one condition check under a while, not inside while. After while, sorry, not under while. After while. There is a lot of difference between these two statements. After while means not inside, outside. You have to check, do it independent check. Try it yourself. 80 to 90% of your logic is in front of you. You have already solved it. Correct that remaining. And you can answer. You can give me your answer in the chat box, friends. Okay. All of you are able to solve this logics yourself? Yes or no? If you are not doing that means, sir, again you have to think about it. Again you are doing BTech again. Means, sir, It's like operation success, patient dead. We finish BTech with 90%, 80%, 70%, but Armstrong program, most of the people don't write. Let me solve this. So what should I do now? I know we have find some. We can do this in two ways. As we know, we have to exclude the factor while doing this sum. Factor of what? Factor of the number. If it is trying for a perfect number, I can do it in two ways. One, I can just remove less than or equal. I can just put less than. If I put less than, it is not going to check for what? The factor of itself. So that addition doesn't happen for that factor. You understand the point? This is a small change. Suppose you want to do the whole sum. Okay, let it be clear. Let's find it for the complete sum. That is fine. Then after that, you can do a condition check. While doing condition check, you should subtract that sum minus that number. You understand the point? So what I can do, if sum minus n equal to n, sorry. So then what is this? Dear friends, please mute your machine. Print what? You can put this in bracket if you want to be more clear. Print it as a perfect, right? This is one case. There are two possible cases. Also, you can solve it in other way also, because programming has many ways to solve something. Otherwise, not perfect. So this is, you find sum. While comparing, what you have to do? What is perfect number as per definition? Sum of factors of number equal to the number. Sum of factors of a number is equal to that number, excluding factor of itself. What did I found sum? I had subtracted that number and equated to the same number. Okay, now run this. Easiest way is okay. Let me run it. It is asking, I am giving 6 now. We know 6 is a perfect number. Yes or no? Press enter. Perfect. But you should not stop here. Give one more number. Understood? So what you try? Give some other number also. Give some 7. Okay, as somebody is saying, let's give what? 7. Not perfect. Got it right? This is how you have to build programs. Understood? Not over. We are making at least, I told you, we are going to work on at least 50 problems. That is our target now. Is it difficult to solve 50? If you understand, not difficult. If you don't understand, even sum of two numbers is also difficult. Okay, so I believe you don't have an issue. Okay, next one after this. Are you clear with this logic now? Ready for next one? Yes or no?
Yes.
I'm getting very low voice. This is all for you only, sir, not for me. Next, are you ready for next program? You know how to find factors, right? How to find how to find count of factors? Yes or no? Then if you know how to find count of factors, the easiest way for doing prime is that. Then we are going to the connected logic, prime or composite. Same concept, same process, but small change. If it is perfect number, you have to do the sum of the factors. If it is prime or not, you have to find the count of factors. Yes or no? You have learned this from school days, sir. Prime numbers has only how many factors, sir? First count factors, then check that count. Yes or no? If count is exactly 2, it's always prime. Else, composite. Might be somebody will come up with a question, sir, if it is 1, it is neither or not prime. Okay, you put one more condition check if you want to be more precise. If count is 1, neither prime nor composite. If count is 2, prime or composite. And more than that, always sorry, if count is 2, prime. Else what? Composite. Before that, what you have to do, sir? You have to find count of factors or not. Yes. Right now. Prime or composite. Somebody is asking, need 10 minutes break. Okay. Kotesh, we are almost done with the session. So by the time we take break time, we can close the session. Okay. Tomorrow, you can ask me between around 11 to 12, 11 to 11:30, so that it is right time for break. But for today, we are almost done with session. I don't have issue giving break. But after this, you can take a break from class itself. Are you good, guys? I'm not seeing that energy. What happened there? Definitely, this is we should do one thing then. We should ask you to pay for each session when you come here. Then automatically energy will come. Automatically energy will come. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Yeah, I am not expecting anything from anyone.
We have LC like
Elif, Elif. Elsif is Elif here. ELIF.
yeah.
I'll show you now. Maybe if you wish to continue sessions, you do one thing. You just first go through the third session first. Okay, that has a bit of connection. Then first, second, then one. Guys, finished it? Or shall I do it? Hmm? Count of factors. First find count. After that, put if else. Put a condition check, sir. So after this, we'll stop the session. After finding this, tomorrow we'll take a new approach of logics, not string. You don't want to learn more programs? Then I'll stop here.
We need.
Tomorrow also we are going to work on some more logics. Then I will switch to string. All these are there here. See here. Again, another way of doing is 256 is there. You should print digit by digit. And again, some of these digits, because I need this when you are working on your collections, all this stuff. We are going to work with the same kind of approach. Okay. I understand you already have some idea about logics, solving logics, but most of the people need some support. Okay. Shall I solve this now? I think you had enough time, right? First thing, if you have a number, what you have to do? First, you have to find the count of factors. Same problem, right? Yes or no? Take count, set it to 0. What should I do now? I should say count equal. Should I find count of factors or not? What I have to do? Count equal to count plus 1. Yes or no? All right. Then you have to now write. Go for this is over. That's all. Now you have to do a condition check for prime or composite. How do you do that? If count equal to 1, what is it, sir? It is neither prime. What is it, sir? Neither prime nor composite. Yes or no? Else if how do you put else if if count equal to 2, then obviously what is that? It's a only prime has 2 factors. Any prime. Okay. Else finally, else print composite. Will this work here? Somebody asked me about how to use elif. Just to show that elif, I have used this. If you want, you can skip that first one. That's your choice. But if you want to be very precise, then you can apply on this. Also, you can do the same with multiple if also, if not this. It's your choice how you want to build your program. But what did we do here? This thing, all of you know this, yes or no? Only thing is you should know how to apply this condition check. So let's run this. Let's run and then give what? Input as, tell some number. Okay, 5. Is it prime or composite? Prime. One more number. 1. And one more number. 6. Okay, 6 or 10. I think is fine. What I am getting here? No. Actually, we didn't run the code. We are just using interactive mode. Don't. Now you will get what you are expecting. Then. All conditions validated. Clear now? So that's about this one. Sir, in the middle. Are you good? Okay. So that's all, guys. This is about again in this one part of logic session is this. Again, you have a number like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you should print digit by digit, reversing that number 1, 2, 3, reverse it 3, 2, 1. Armstrong palindrome, this kind of logics you have to work. Right? So for some of you, you should have some idea, but many people, they were new to this. Okay, tomorrow for 1 hour I will focus on this next level of logics. Then I will switch to the for and range function first. Almost all looping, if you are really comfortable here, understanding for doesn't take much time. Or applying range is much more interesting. Then I will switch to string and then switch to collections. Very important topic in Python. You look at any JD, job description, hands-on experience with Python collections. They will just write there. They will say this list, set, map, all this tuple, all this stuff. Okay. Now we are going to play with all those functions. Okay. Any more questions? Now you have time to ask questions. So I will stop recording this session.